Business news from the Capital Region. This is Washington Business Report with ABC7 national correspondent Rebecca Cooper.
Welcome to a fresh look at business and finance in the Washington region. Coming up on today's show, the Maryland man behind the hugely successful CareerBuilder website, how he defied death and came back with a new concept that just might change the way we shop. Also, bourbon onion or bacon jam, two local women with some tantalizing and tasty secrets to small business success. And in our roundtable, what the shooting down of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 might mean for the world economy, plus other important stories this week that impact the world of business and finance. Those topics and more ahead, but first, a Washington Business Report one-on-one with a Maryland man who likes taking risks, and that's definitely paid off. Rob McGovern launched the online employment site CareerBuilder.com, later selling it in the year 2000 during a down economy for an eye-popping $450 million. The serial entrepreneur was well into launching his next business when tragedy struck, almost taking his life and his business know-how. But McGovern defied his prognosis and everyone's expectations, coming back with what just might be the next hottest trend in retail and beyond. I sat down with him in his Chevy Chase home. You started at University of Maryland as an undergrad in business, and you minored in computer science at a time when not a lot of people were doing that. In fact, you said to me previously, only the nerds did that.
Right.
But now, as a result, your data and engineering know-how pay off with these apps. Talk about CareerBuilder and how you started the company.
Well, yeah, so I've always been interested in technology, and it did seem like the logical thing when I was in college to type punch cards, right, to write programs. So I was in the computer industry. I was working for Hewlett-Packard.
You were a product manager at Hewlett-Packard.
Product manager, and then the internet came along, and someone who worked for me showed me the first web browser. Now this is in 1994. There are no graphics, right? And he showed it to me, and I said, "This is going to change everything." And that's when I started thinking about that as an enabler of something big. And then I said, people are going to find jobs differently, right? Because employers and potential employees can connect. And the idea came along. And
did you also have the entrepreneurial streak, or was that a harder part of this configuration, to have the courage to leave a company like Hewlett-Packard?
Yes, I was raised by a single mom who never finished high school. In
Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia, but she's an entrepreneur. She has always been a business builder, and she has courage, right, to go out and try things and take a risk. But what she taught me is to take calculated risks. So I started the business, one of the first job sites, right, out there. And so did 4,000 other people.
Right.
And it was this big feeding frenzy. And Monster.com, came along. And then they announced they were going to go public, and they were going to raise $100 million. So I went to my board of directors and said, we're going to raise $100 million because this is going to be a capital war. And they laughed. They said, you only have $3 million in revenue. You can't do this. I said, I will find a bank to do this. And so then what happened was we raised $100 million, and then it became a capital war with Monster, and we both started acquiring all the competitors, and we rolled the industry up.
But some people that did that in other startups then said, okay, great, now I get my beach house and I'm done,
right.
Early retirement. You are what everyone calls a serial entrepreneur, and you went on to the next one, JobFox, which didn't work out over time, but you were determined to make it work. And when some people say their job is killing them, it's figurative. Your job literally almost killed you. You were in Indianapolis on a work trip. You were in a car. You were hit by a teenager. They used the jaws of life to extract you. Yeah. You had no vital signs.
Yeah, the coma was the bad part.
There must have been so many bad parts.
Yeah.
And they told your mother what?
Well, all the diagnostic tests they were doing, the predictive tests said I'd be vegetative.
For the rest of your life?
For the rest of my life. And they told my mom, if he can feed himself someday, that's going to be good. What happens in traumatic brain injury is there's a lot of therapy to reteach you the world. And they were literally taking me to grocery stores and holding up boxes of cereal and say, this is cereal.
Wow.
And this is the trunk of a car, and this is a shopping cart. And and you know some of these techniques they use are called compensation skills, where they're teaching you to compensate for the bad part in your brain. And that was really the impetus for this idea, because I was in the hospital and I'm thinking about all this compensation. I said, wouldn't the ultimate compensation to be to use someone else's brain?
Was that the genesis of Cobrain?
Yeah, it was. And for me, it was a really important personal step, because part of healing is believing, right? And when I could do a complex thought process like that, because there was a time I didn't know anyone's names.
Yeah.
I barely knew my own name, right? And so for me, that was an important achievement, and it was telling me, you can do this, dude. You can come back.
What is Cobrain?
Well, Cobrain is a startup company. It's still in its first year, but it's a company that is using a technology I created called collaborative intelligence, which helps people share brain power with others to make better decisions.
So some people have described you as going from the job search business to the fashion stylist business. How is it helping people make better decisions? Give us some examples.
Well, and so I think I helped 100 million people find a better job. Now I'm trying to help 100 million people make better decisions. What it does is you go in and you tell it what you like. So you might say, I like dresses in this price range, in these brands. And
with a halter neck.
With a halter neck, and in this material or colors. And then what it does is it figures out who also likes those things, right? And then
which other users.
And then it guides you to the products that they're really happy with. Our partners are everyone from Macy's to Nordstrom to Lord & Taylor to Gap.
So you've got the big ones.
We got the big ones, and we have the small ones. And for them, we deliver tremendous value because they want their customers to be happier and to choose the right products, and so we're helping that. The thing that I've learned over the course of time is it's all about the people that you surround yourself with. Because my assets, they drive home every night, right? The company doesn't have a factory and machines, and we have people. And so getting great people to be part of it and who see the vision and they want to be life-changing and change other people's lives through technology, that was a valuable lesson, because in the beginning, I hired people I liked as opposed to people who are really smart.
But this is a very cool idea, but to convince people they're going to change the world by helping me find a better pink dress for an event takes you having to really sell this to smart people.
Yes, and the but part is using it for apparel is just the start, right? And we're going to take this product into restaurants and hospitality, into content in all different
You said
places.
You're going to help people pick the movies they'll like based on all this data acquisition. It struck me in reading about Cobrain and all the different potential uses you see for it. This is the kind of idea that Google pays a lot of money to have their people sit around and think about and come up with.
Right.
Why isn't Google or someone else already out there? Why do you think you managed to come up with an idea that seems like it has great potential? Does it make you nervous when you're out there ahead of Google and others?
Yes, right. So here's what happens is if you're an entrepreneur, you come up with a great idea and you get started, you soon find yourself, you're sprinting away from the 100 people that are chasing you, right? And that will happen. It happened to me at CareerBuilder. It's going to happen again here. And the only defense you have as an entrepreneur is speed of execution. You got to go fast.
And you're confident you'll be able to be the faster one on the block?
Well, my philosophy is it's going to be a hell of a ride or a ride to hell, right?
And you had the ride to hell back in Indianapolis.
I've done both, but it's, my mom taught me that. You go all in. You got to have the courage.
Rob McGovern, thanks for joining us on Washington Business Report.
Thanks, great to be here.
And our thanks to Rob McGovern. Stay tuned. Our roundtable tackles what the tragedy of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 could mean for the world economy. But first, our small business spotlight. We shine on two Virginia women who combine tasty recipes with entrepreneurial passion. We'll tell you how they jam their way to success coming up next.